Yeah, SPIC MACAY is the Society for Promotion of Indian Classical Music and
Orientation.
sorry, I request you before we start that please keep your mics during the presentation. You could keep the mics on mute. Yeah, so I'll request that we keep the mics on mute during the presentation, and at the end of the session that we will be taking up all your questions, and the chat box can be used for adding any questions. So now to tell you a little bit about SPIC MACAY, I would like to invite our esteemed member and volunteer, Shri Arun Sahai sir. I'd also like to introduce sir. Arun sir has been with SPIC MACAY and has done his engineering from IIT Kharagpur and subsequently MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. Sir has been the ex-chairperson of SPIC MACAY and also worked in the corporate with various projects for diversification, modernization, and corporate planning. Sir, we welcome you and invite you to speak about SPIC MACAY for the students. I think you can unmute now. Yes, yeah, just unmute.
Yeah. Thank you, Sabya. Dear friends, we've been hearing the famous quote that change is the only constant. Since I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 1969, in the 50 years, I have seen a fair amount of change. When I did my engineering, we used a slide rule for complex engineering calculations. The students today have not even heard of a slide rule. When I studied management at IIM Ahmedabad, digital marketing was an unheard of concept. Nobody has any idea what is going to happen in the future. Who knows what the world will be like 30 years from now? And that is when you would be very much in your working careers. Yet education must prepare the youth for such a world. The children will see a future we will not. The purpose of education is not just to gather knowledge, but also develop people to deal with the world and develop in people an ability to think, imagine, innovate, and create. You should be able to apply your learnings and your future learnings in the situations you will experience in the years ahead and so succeed in life. One of the problems of the present generation is the ability to give prolonged attention. Today's social media wrongly teaches us to be superficial in our attention. You must give a chunk of time to achieve anything of depth. Our culture is our Indian identity. For no fault of theirs, our youth are not aware of our culture. With the breakdown of joint families, the generational trickle down of culture is now missing. Parents are unable to take their children to Indian cultural performances because of their long office hours or the academic pressures of the children. I estimate 95% of our youth are not exposed to our heritage. Many will have the SPIC MACAY experience for the first time and, like many others, crave for more through their respective SPIC MACAY heritage clubs. What SPIC MACAY has been doing for the past 47 years in broadening education by taking the best artists in the country, Padma awardees, SNA awardees, to schools and colleges all over the country. This is what makes SPIC MACAY relevant for you, the young generation. SPIC MACAY would develop leadership qualities in students who organize our conventions and programs and team working. This is done in a spirit of Nishkam Seva. There is joy in giving your time. There has been programs in some aims, and you would have experienced this in your colleges also. The more good performers there are, the more audiences grow and the arts flourish. If some art forms are allowed to perish, it will be impossible to revive the diversity and richness of yesteryears. Great discoveries of our inner selves made by our ancestors and reflected through Drupad, Kudiyattam, Rudravina, Sarangi, Gutuvadyam today are on the verge of extinction. It is the youth of today who will be the audiences of tomorrow and help our culture to flourish. We encourage the crafts, which is the second largest provider of employment after agriculture. Students get a chance to learn from master craftspersons in the intensive workshops that we organize. During SPIC MACAY conventions, youth from all parts of the country congregate to experience, share, interact, discuss with eminent exponents. The artists are also from all parts of the country: north, south, east, west, and the northeast. This is national integration. You get to see and experience. As more facts are gathered and knowledge expands, new facts can render old facts and knowledge as invalid. At one time, we thought the world is flat. We now know the world is round. The SPIC MACAY logo represents the inner eye, the eye of perception and inquiry, ever alert in the pursuit of that eternal truth, the eternal Satya. Initially, the problems and solutions are known. Later, you come across problems to which you don't know the solution, but you can ask others for solutions to known problems. Finally, you don't know what the problem is, forget knowing what the solution is. We work in such ambiguity and need to be prepared for it. And this is what education will help you. And our SPIC MACAY exposure will help you. Multiple studies link music study to academic achievement. Serious music training seems to correlate with success in other fields. To quote the late Steve Jobs, whom the youth would recognize because they use many Apple products. Innovation would require a blend of technology and liberal arts, and education systems should encourage such pollination rather than focus on narrow specialization. Unquote. Innovation requires creativity. Our heritage instills such creativity. A rag is sung differently by different artists and by the same artist differently at different times. There is freedom within certain boundary constraints. Arts brings elements of abstraction and critical thinking which science subjects alone do not do. So, what is it that will help you cope with the world in future? To my mind, it is our heritage that has been around for thousands of years. It is meditative and which will also help the youth to concentrate and improve in their studies. In yoga, you concentrate as you inhale and exhale. In Nad Yoga, you concentrate on the note as you sing, and when it is different to the correct note, you have to concentrate to get to the correct note. In dance, you concentrate to get the right posture. A musician requires enormous focus, attention, and practice. If you take this ability to concentrate to your studies and whatever work you do, you will be more productive and will be able to study in less time. It is not surprising that many eminent people were incidentally musicians. Our former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, A missile scientist played the veena. Dr. Ramanna, famous for the first atomic implosion in India, played the piano. The great mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan had a classical music background. Einstein, who predicted gravity waves 100 years ago, which we have only now verified, would have been a violinist if he was not a physicist. Professor Manjul Bhargav, professor of mathematics at Princeton University and winner of the Fields Medal in Mathematics, an equivalent to the Nobel Prize, has said there is something about classical music that made one more creative even in other endeavors. He believes including classical music in the school curriculum, the country would produce not just better artists, but better scientists, judges, innovators, and in general better human beings. He himself is a tabla player. The Western world focused on the outer domain and developed products like laptops, mobile phones that we use, whereas we in India focused on the inner domain that is reflected in our heritage. And this is what SPIC MACAY will help you to learn about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing your views about how we can all integrate arts into a little bit of our arts into our curriculum and benefit from it. I'll now show a brief video about why we are doing what we are doing and why we are trying to promote our arts and culture to all the young students.
कुछ चीजों को हम छू सकते हैं। कारें, फोन, कंप्यूटर्स, आपके हाथ में लगातार चलती पेंसिल, रीबॉक के लेटेस्ट जूते, आज का अखबार। कुछ चीजें सिर्फ महसूस की जाती हैं। नई कार में बैठकर सपने पूरे होने का एहसास, नए फोन पर पहली बार अपना मनपसंद गाना, लगातार चलती पेंसिल से बना नया स्केच, आज के अखबार की हेडलाइन पढ़कर आया गुस्सा। कुछ चीजें सिर्फ महसूस की जाती। हमारा म्यूजिक, हमारा कल्चर, योगा, मेडिटेशन, हमारे फेस्टिवल, ये सब हजारों सालों से इंसान की अंदर की भूख को पूरा करते आए, वो जो महसूस की जाती। Society for the Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture Amongst Youth, SPIC MACAY, उन लोगों से बनी है जो महसूस करते हैं या करना चाहते हैं। बच्चे, बड़े, स्टूडेंट्स, प्रोफेशनल्स, टीचर्स, डॉक्टर्स। फर्क ये नहीं पड़ता कि आपकी उम्र या प्रोफेशन क्या है, सवाल ये है कि आप अपने को समझने के लिए किस हद तक जाएंगे। स्पिक मैके का लोगो है दी वर्टिकल आई और द इनर आई, द आई ऑफ परसेप्शन एंड इंक्वायरी। हमारे लिए म्यूजिक, कल्चर, आर्ट, हमारी सभ्यता, फिलॉसफी वो जरिए हैं जिनसे हम अपनी अमूल्य सांस्कृतिक धरोहर को समझ पाते हैं। वो धरोहर जिसको हम वक्त के साथ साथ किसी हद तक भूलते जा रहे हैं। स्पिक मैके के हाथ और कंधे हैं स्पिक मैके के वॉलंटियर्स, वो लोग जो इस तेज रफ्तार जिंदगी के बावजूद अपनी विरासत, अपनी आइडेंटिटी, हमारे देश की आत्मा और स्वरूप के साथ जुड़े रहना चाहते हैं। तारे से प्रभु तेरी। हर साल स्पिक मैके के देश भर में फैले वॉलंटियर्स स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस, इंस्टीट्यूशंस में हजारों इवेंट्स ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं। इन इवेंट्स से हमारी सभ्यता और संस्कृति वहां पहुंचती है जहां हमारा भविष्य है, हमारा फ्यूचर है, हमारा यूथ। फिल्म, थिएटर, म्यूजिक, डांस फॉर्म्स, फोक आर्ट और इन जैसे और माध्यमों से हम लाखों लोगों तक अपनी हजारों साल की विरासत को पहुंचा पाते हैं। वो विरासत जो सिर्फ हमारी है, वो विरासत जिसको बचाना या जाने देना सिर्फ हमारे हाथ में है। वो विरासत जिसको आज हमारी जरूरत है।
Thank you. Now I would like to invite our next speaker for today. I'd like to invite Usha ma'am. To introduce ma'am, Usha ma'am has held significant positions and as a senior volunteer and as national vice chairperson of SPIC MACAY, she handles the ministries, finance, grants, and other day-to-day activities as a passionate volunteer. She will be sharing details about various modules and activities of SPIC MACAY. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Sabya. Good morning, one and all. We heartily welcome you to this orientation. The video, I also would like to thank Arunji for introducing us with the concept and the philosophy of SPIC MACAY and how the very learned people, very people in the high echelons were benefited by various art forms they followed in their life along with their academics. Having said that, I would also like you to recall the video just now played by Sabyasachi Day about Discover Yourself. That shows all the activities that we do in various institutions, just like yours, we will be doing in future. And these are all the artists who support us. The modules have been developed over a period of time since SPIC MACAY came into inception in the year 1977 and founded by Dr. Professor Kiran Seth of IIT Delhi. Over the period of time, we from one art form, that is classical music, we went on to classical music and instrumental music. We went on to dance. We went on to folk of all over India. Then we added many more things such as talks, theater, heritage walk, nature walk, and expanding our activities so as to suit the institutions. Now, for this, to make use of these modules and bring in the legendary artists to you all, we have lecture demonstrations where the artist introduces her art, its history, its development, and then she performs or he performs, and then they go on to the next number. Then again, they introduce the same, and then this is the way the lecture demonstrations are done. The next form of ours, very popular, is workshop demonstrations, which we have developed for the rural areas, schools and students, so that they are not deprived of viewing our artists, art and culture. They should be also aware. We are happy to share with you that these schools may not have big auditoriums, but they help us, our artists, to perform even in their corridors. The idea is to reach the students as much as we can. Then adding to that, we have Virasats. A single day program is not called Virasat, but 3-day program, 5-day program, 7-day programs, 15 days programs, which are done by IIT Delhi, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Kanpur. We have had Virasats of 10 days, 15 days, where it is an amalgamation of all art forms: dance, music, folk, craft, heritage walk, cinema classics, and it makes a beautiful festival for your institution. Then we have our annual initiative, which we call as International Convention, which is held every year in one of the institutions, IITs, IIMs, NITs, whoever can offer us an infrastructure, a place to house about 2,000 delegates who experience a beautiful Gurukul-like, ashram-like atmosphere, staying there, being with the gurus, artists, witnessing some legendary performances, and getting totally soaked in the influence of art and culture. So this is a 7-day affair where we have our day starts with yoga. Then we then there is a personal time. Then we go to intensive workshops for 3 hours. Then we break for lunch. Thereafter, we gather again and we have some folk performance of that particular state, or cinema classic and folk is combined one after the other. Then we break for early dinner, and 5 to 5:45, 6 o'clock is the time when we are asked to move to the auditorium to witness 2 performances of 1.5 hours each, and then we close the show of that day, and so that we can get up early in the morning at 4 o'clock for the yoga sessions. So these are all designed very thoughtfully for giving an inspirational experience to all the delegates. And
झुमर झुमर पैरी बाजे रे
this is a view of Bismillah Khan Sahib, and the previous one was a view of International Convention when the delegates are arriving.
Remixes and these going on, and younger generations understands that better than the surtal of Drupad or Pandit Birju Maharaj doing Kathak.
एक जो बहुत सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत हमारे लिए छत्तीसगढ़ में आती है, हमको फंड्स प्रोवाइड नहीं।
These are the few views, which we experience in our working. Ustad Bismillah Khan Sahab, Amish Shehnai.
साउंड नहीं है माइक में, माइक चालू नहीं है। ए माइक वाले,
Yeah. Sabha, we can stop your video.
माइक वाले कहीं हैं?
Yeah. Having seen all this, I'm very sure that this orientation will enthuse you to get connected with Speaking Macay further, take our activities, and take this movement forward, which has been in existence for the past 47 years. May I also tell you that this movement runs on the shoulders of volunteers like me, like Sabya, like Arun sir, like Neeraja ji, like like Sandeep Sancheti sir, who are all here from SPIC MACAY, my colleagues, and we would also welcome any one of you to become the volunteer for SPIC MACAY. You can be the institutional volunteer, you can be individual volunteer. You just have to join and help us move further. Thank you very, very much. Now our next speaker is Mr. Sabyasachi De. Sabyasachi did his BTech ECE from VNIT Nagpur and went on to do his master's from IIT Bangalore. He is employed with Deloitte Consulting India as a senior consultant and data analyst solution architect. Sabyasachi is the national secretary of SPIC MACAY, which is a huge responsibility. He is also a Hindustani vocal artist, is very passionate about SPIC MACAY and has been working tirelessly for the movement. Over to you, Sabya.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'll be introducing you about the heritage clubs in our institutions and how we can form these heritage clubs. So as you may have seen all the modules about SPIC MACAY, so that is how we operate, and these are the activities that we can have in your institution also. So we can form a official SPIC MACAY Heritage Club in your institution and propagate these arts and cultural activities in your institution. And it's like being part of a larger umbrella or a community where every year we can plan activities under the academic schedule and try to make that a regular part of your curriculum, not just once a year, but also a more frequent set of activities, as you have seen the workshop demonstrations, lecture demonstrations, concerts, film screenings. So that is the idea of a heritage club. And I want to say that during our academic and learning years and student years, this heritage club is very, very beneficial. As students, we also, that is the time when we are molded into future leaders. So this heritage club gives us the exposure to the great masters, gives us the opportunity to sit with them and see them up close and learn from them. And it gives us a window of learning outside the classroom also. So our founder, Dr. Kiran Seth, during his learning years, as student years, sir also pursued learning Drupad under Ustad Aminuddin Dagar. And that's where the whole seed of this idea got sown into him. And you know, we in SPIC MACAY, attending meetings, doing voluntary work, through that we are not just volunteering and giving back to society, but we are also giving back to ourselves. So we are nurturing our inner selves through these activities. We are connecting with our inner selves. At the same time, we are also giving back to our community around us by spreading it, taking it to more and more students, teachers, and everyone in your institution. And not just in your institution, as volunteers, students can take it all around the institution, also in your city. So this is something which inculcates the values of, like Dr. said, used to say that हम अगर एक दिन नहीं करते रियाज तो फिर आप 40 दिन पीछे हो जाते. तो there are various abstract concepts through our classical music which can only be learned when we are given that exposure on a regular, frequent, daily basis up close. So these are some experiences that you can inculcate and benefit during your college days and school time, and that makes us a better human being overall. So yeah, and of course these are intangible benefits that increase our focus, concentration, and all of the taking a leadership role does inculcate many intangible benefits. So that's all about the Heritage Club. Now, regarding the structure, you can form a 10-member committee with I will share the structure how you can approach the Heritage Club formation. Let me just share my screen. So these are, as we already talked about, the modules of the Heritage Club. Weekly meetings, an important concept of our SPIC MACAY movement. It is driven through the weekly meetings every week, where students all over the college can connect with each other. So we can have a faculty advisor, one principal faculty advisor, one secondary faculty advisor. Then from student, we can have a 10-member body. We can have the treasurer, artist coordinator, program coordinator. Then we can have like secretary, joint secretary. Then we can have media representative or media coordinator, publicity, graphics coordinator. So we can have a 10-member body. In fact, if more students are interested, we can also have a 20-member body. Then every year we can the the office bearers can be nominated for a period of say a year, and they can handle all the official communication with the faculty regarding the provisioning of funds, and also when to what time, what is the dates for scheduling activities with the with, in consultation with the faculty, and yeah, and plan it out. So there are various, as we already mentioned, students can also form the finance coordination team, which can help raise funds or through college funds and things like various other things. So this is all about the Heritage Club, and it will be a great learning experience for those who will be joining and forming a Heritage Club. So we would recommend that as part of today, we would recommend that after today's orientation, we would recommend each of the institutes you can form the Heritage Club. There is no cost associated with it. So you can form a Heritage Club, and also you can mark a copy of that with your local coordinator, and also the national executive, the chairperson, and maybe the secretary, and we can officially formally get started. So this is how we look forward to associate with you. And now, thank you. That was all I had to say. So now I would like to invite um, Shri Karan Nanda sir. So uh, I would like to invite Shri Karan Nanda sir to share his views on volunteerism and Nishkam Seva. Karan sir is a dairy technologist. He has a passion for theater as well as SPIC MACAY. He was with the National Dairy Board in product development and worked with Mother Dairy in QC outsourcing, logistics, training development. Karan sir, we welcome you and invite you to speak a few words. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sabyasachi. And a very good morning to everyone. It's a beautiful day here, a beautiful cloudy day here in Noida. And, when I see the clouds, of course, talk about rain, when they grumble, there's a lot of rain. And when it rains, then you get, falls on the ground, your crops grow. And when your crops grow, your farmers thrive. And when people thrive, there's a lot of song, laughter, gaiety. And in reality, this is where our culture starts growing too. So in our, villages, in the farms, farmlands, that is where our culture has grown and has been thousands of years, like we already heard that. Our rich culture is here for a long, long time. And so what are we doing here today? Now we talked about Nishkam Seva, and I've been talking about it for a number of times. Whenever we talk to people, we talk about Nishkam Seva. But over the years now, I've suddenly started realizing there is no longer a Seva, because it's something, our culture is something which defines us as Indians. It is what we are. So we are not doing actually any Seva for anybody. Now I come to realize, and we have with us some really senior volunteers. We have with us Usha ji is here, Arun ji is here, Sabyasachi, Neerja ji is around, and Sandeep ji. We've all been around here with SPIC MACAY for years. And over a time now, I'm sure, we've stopped thinking of it as Seva, and it is really something about our own selves. That this is my identity, and it is my duty and privilege to propagate it and preserve it. And that's what we are here for. So when we talk of volunteerism, what can we do or how can we help? Because by now, you've heard what SPIC MACAY is about, what all we are here, have been doing, what all we've had to offer. So where can I fit in? So I'll just go through quickly, through a small list of areas where you can contribute. The first thing is simply, some of you already know about SPIC MACAY. Some of you are here for the first time probably and heard about it. So just start by talking about it to your family, your friends, your colleague, and just share what you, listened to and heard and understood today. The other thing is, Sabyasachi talked about heritage clubs. So if you already got a club, please do join in, contribute there, and just start by, joining in and learning what's it about, where all you can contribute. And if you do not have one, please start a club in your institutions and, get more and more your students to join in and understand what SPIC MACAY is all about and what are we here for. Some of the now another thing I'll just share with you that are we have a very informal setup in SPIC MACAY. It's not that you have to come in and punch a card or you have to give in X number of hours or do certain specific jobs. It is up to you because we are all busy. You're busy with your studies, with your work and others. Whatever whatever you're doing. So whatever time you have, whatever little time you have, whatever effort and energy you can devote, it's up to you. But once you make a commitment, be sure that you stick to it. You do not have to commit the world, just commit a little bit, start with it and just join in. Some of the other areas, which are very more specific. One is, the artist management. All the top artists of our country are here who have, joined hands with us for this great movement. You can actually be, rubbing shoulders with them, something which it's, otherwise practically impossible to do. So you'll be managing that. You'll be managing, you can manage the programs, compare. And we have a great publicity, unit, so that, we can publicize and let other people also know what SPIC MACAY is about, what are we doing, and where can people contribute. So you can be part of that publicity department. We are dependent, we do not charge for any of our programs. We need money, we need funds to run the show. So for that, we have a department where you can help in, the finance and the finance department, where you can see how you can get people to, loosen their purse strings if you have that kind of a knack. Post-COVID, we immediately went on to the, online mode, and we quickly, rustled up a technical team for that. If you are technically inclined, you can join that team, help out, and contribute in that. Then we have, like I said, the fundraising, the organizing, the artist interactivities. And the other thing is simply, just walk into the, our world. Just attend a few programs. There'll be volunteers there, talk to them, figure out what they are doing, how are things done, how are things managed, and just feel your way around. And then decide what you can do, or what would you want to do in this organization, how you can help. Because it's more, like I said, helping ourselves rather than now helping somebody else and doing seva for someone else. So that is something which you have to take a decision on, because, we've talked about so many things, but the thing is, results show when you put things into action, and the action is up to you. It's like a juggernaut, that juggernaut, great chariot, how it is pulled, it's huge. But then everybody, the young, the weak, the old, everybody pitches in and pulls it, and it moves so smoothly, and it's a grand spectacle. So that is what we want. Give you a little bit, whatever you can, join in. And for help, like I said, all our volunteers are here, and we may be senior in terms of how many years we are here, but we are very informal. There's no seniority or juniority. Just come in, talk to any one of us. You want any help, we'll be there for you. So just say hello and walk into the family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karan sir, for sharing your thoughts on volunteerism. I would like to now invite Nirja ma'am.
But before that, Sabya, can we take up at least, say, about 10 questions?
Yes, yes.
Then
I will just-
not more than 10, but 10, yes.
Sure, sure. Should I invite ma'am to speak?
Anyone, any 10 questions you can invite, so that if they have any doubt, anything, that will be cleared for others also.
Sure, sure, sure. So I'd like to, those who would like to ask questions, please raise your hands. And then, but I would also like to, meanwhile, I would like to invite Nirja ma'am, our very senior member from Delhi and our ex-national vice chairperson. Thank you, ma'am. Would you like to speak a few words?
She'll be giving word of thanks.
Yes. Have some questions from the listeners, people who have joined. I'm sure they would like to ask.
Before the thanks, yes.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, please raise your hands, those who would like to ask questions. We will unmute you one by one. Anybody has any questions, please raise your hands. Or type your question. We will unmute you. Yes, Zafar Majid. Yes, you have a question. Please ask.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us today. My name is Zafar Majid, and I'm from Government Degree College for Women, Sopore, and it's in.
Could you start your video also?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Yes, sir. Actually, we have been invited recently, and we are joining the first time this program. One of the queries we have that is that we are a government college, state government college, and now the first thing that comes into our mind that we want to go through this process and we want to start this club. But as we saw in the document, there is some provision of funding so far as centrally sponsored colleges or institutes are considered. But is that same for state colleges? Because as we check in our account, there is no such head. Like this type of head, we don't have such heads under which we can have some budget and we can actually have some programs or whatever. So what? No, actually, how we can get out to begin with, and how to first we need some. Obviously, we'll start a club. We'll disseminate the information with the students, and we'll start doing some programs as well. But at the end, when we try to actually go outside the boundaries of our institution, we may need some funding. Currently, so far the state colleges, state government colleges are considered, we don't have any such budget here.
We expect that institution spends definitely, but we have been advising the institutions who have no money to raise funds. First person that you can approach is your banker. You can say that we are going to have this program and this is the expected expenditure. You may kindly fund us and from the CSR, their CSR funds. Similarly, you can approach many other PSUs and other companies whom you feel in your area they are well off and you can approach them for funds. And some of the people are too happy to put in money for this kind of noble cause which we are doing it. So, Arunji, you have something to offer? Arunji?
Most
Arunji, you are muted.
Am I muted myself?
Yeah, I said, do you have any idea to offer to them for funds?
There would be funds for student activities, which club, but and as Usha ji says, you raise funds from corporate social responsibility, corporate than adequate to carry out the programs of SPIC.
Okay.
Does that clear your question, sir?
Yes. Oh, yeah, ma'am. So first of all, we'll actually create a club here, and then we will look into it how we can get some fundings, obviously from the CSR, and there are some like heritage, so some government agencies. So they are looking into heritage and cultural activities in the UT, in our UT. We'll look into them and we'll try to explore more and more funding so that we can reach to more and more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I can see in the chat a question that about the formation of Heritage Club. Yes, we request you to have exclusive SPIC MACAY St. Bede's College Heritage Club. Under this banner, you can carry on the activities, and as Sabyasachi suggested, this should have the 10 members who have the powers to negotiate with your own administration and then ask for fund, ask for permission to have Speak MACAY activities and to have meetings. But that should be different from all other clubs, but they should work in conjunction. They should work in unison with them. Say film club, you should join with them for cinema classic that we suggest. You can join the environment club, where you can go for heritage walks, nature walks, and then you have dance club, music club. Then you can join them for the music that we offer to you. So there is a lot to do with the help of heritage club, and then you will have an exclusivity in the college as a special special space in the whole scenario. Am I clear, Poonamji? Poonamji and Supriya also have asked the same question.
Yeah, so.
And we have shared that Heritage Club formation letter also, note also, they can go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go through that, and then once you form the club, you can have the official faculty to sign that on the behalf of the college along with the HOD or dean, and then you can share a copy to us, and we'll connect you with our local coordinator also in your region, and then they can plan the further activities under that club. So I think
Supriya Shidhaye has raised her hand. Supriya Shidhaye. Can you unmute her?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Very good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Can you put your video on so that we can also see you?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Hello.
Hello. Yes, you're.
I'm not able to turn on my camera, ma'am.
It's okay. So come on with your question.
Ma'am, basically we have different clubs in our college already, like we have Eco Club, Green Club, Dance Club, and many more. So the question is actually, can we perform the activities under that particular club and then club it with Heritage Club, or we need to perform separate activities for Heritage Club?
You have to create a separate Heritage Club. What is the name of your college?
Srimati Kishoritai Bhoyer College of Pharmacy, Kamthi.
You write the name of your college and then SPIC MACAY and the college name, Heritage Club. And under this banner, you have to carry out all the programs so that you get an exclusivity. You don't get lost in the milieu of clubs in the college and SPIC MACAY is not seen. Under this, you can have weekly meeting, fortnightly meeting, whichever suits you. And that should become a regular affair exclusively for you.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, do we need to report these activities somewhere?
First, you send the formation of your club to your own institution, your director, your vice chancellor, or anybody. Give it a formal shape, and so that you are recognized. They also know that you are there, and of course, then we can you can put it on your social media or your website. And say
definitely, ma'am, I can do that. But my question is how we can connect with SPIC MACAY persons.
You have our addresses, you have our emails, you can write to us. I have put the email IDs. You can get back to us through those.
Definitely.
Visit us at www.spicmacay.org. You'll get all the other information.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
So, yeah, I'd also like to add that we have every city of SPIC MACAY has a chapter. Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
You are from Nagpur, so there is a chapter in Nagpur. So once you form this Heritage Club, you send the details of the club to us, and we will get you connected with the Nagpur chapter, right? And then you can basically you can take it further from there. That's what. So every city, not just Nagpur, I'm saying every city of the country we have, I mean, more or less every major city we have chapters where our volunteers are there to assist you to solve your queries and various other things. Of course, and we'll also put our numbers in the chat box. If you want to reach out to us also, you can reach out. And we'll, once you form this Heritage Club, we will connect you with your city volunteers also. So they will face to face, they can come and meet you also and take it further.
The next person in the line is Dr. Ritu Mathur. Kindly come, open your video and talk to us, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon to you. I just want to know, so I get this, that we have to form the club and then get in touch with you. But the point is that how do we in the first place form the club? So what do I actually have to do to form the club? Like my so on Monday.
So like you are one faculty, you take one more faculty, there should be 2 faculty members in the club as the senior people. Okay. And because our Dr. Seth always says that the students are rivers flowing, we are the banks. We have to guide them. Our faculty presence is very important, the Heritage Club. Then you pick up 10 members, 10 very effective, very enthusiastic members who can be the president, vice president, secretary, joint secretary, treasurer, joint treasurer, then your media director or a fundraising in charge. Like that, you can create any number of people as you want, as it suits you. After the formation, you send it to your administration and your head of the institution for formalizing the same. And then you get the Heritage Club and start work. Apart from these 10 members, you can add as many members as you can, but they will be just the members to help you out whenever you take up SPIC MACAY activities, because there is a lot of work to do in that, and that we will guide you from time to time. Is that clear? Yeah, I think she's not there. Dr. Parminder? Dr. Parminder, you have any question? Yeah. Unmute yourself. Unmute her.
Is it okay, ma'am?
Yes.
Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, ma'am, and all the concerned faculties here. Now, my question is this: myself, Dr. Parminder from Ideal Institute of Management Technology, Delhi. And my question is that for conducting all these activities, do we need to send framework to someone from the SPIC MACAY?
Do you need to what?
Do we need to send the framework for conducting activities in our college to someone from the SPIC MACAY?
Since you are in Delhi, you can get in touch with the Delhi chapter people. I am in Delhi. Nirja ma'am is in Delhi. Arun sir is in Delhi. You can get in touch with any one of them, and you say that this is your date of performance, and this is the art form that you want to have, and these are the timings. So from there on, we start working with you. We start selecting the artists and giving them to you, and there starts our journey for activities in your college.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, there is any time bound for this? Like for 1 week prayer or a 10 days prayer?
Any time
There is no time bound. No.
Okay,
sir. No, not time bound. You have to give us time to talk to the artist, because if we go to one artist, supposing she is busy, then we have to look for another artist. She's also busy, then we go to third artist. So there has to be a little gap. For example, maybe 15 days, maybe 20 days. Once you form, and even you can tell us in advance 2 months also, so that this gives us even more time to decide.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, ma'am.
Because in future you may like to have intensive workshops of 5 days. So then again, we will need time to fix up the craft artist, for which Nirja ma'am is the in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Another question, ma'am. How many activities we can conduct under this heritage club?
Any
There is
amount. Any amount. Yes, there is a contribution, small contribution to SPIC MACAY for this. For classical arts, we request for a contribution of 25,000 rupees, in which we pay to the artists, we do other publicity, etc., etc. This is the minimum amount where it is we try to manage. So
workshops, it is
workshop, it is different. It is 3,000, 4,000 per day, and for 5 days it's 20,000. And if there is material, that material is money is spent by the institution for the number of students. Yeah, it's calculated like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for
Welcome.
answering.
Welcome, welcome. And last question, Shilpa, Dr. Shilpa.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon, madam. I'm Dr. Shilpa Mankar from Dr. R.J. Bhuar Arts, Commerce and Science College, Selu, District Wardha, Maharashtra State, nearby Nagpur. So actually, I have got all the answers because I have some questions. But my some related question, that if we are forming this heritage club in a in our college, so information will be there annually, ma'am. We have to reform it annually.
No, means naturally it will get,
because we are trying to form this heritage club in this year.
So
actually, we have not connected
you
with
will
this.
usually take second year and third year students, no? Because first students are very junior. Then when the third year goes, then the second year will go to third year, and then third year, then the first year will come to second year. So then you go on adding. There is no this thing restriction on that.
Okay. And can we connect with the Nagpur chapter, any heritage club, club, because we are not approaching to Delhi every time.
You can, Sabya, you can put your number there. You can talk to Mr. Sabyasachi. He has already put his number in the chat box. Or he has put the number of Mr. Ravi Isatfale. You just check the chat box, take the number down, talk to him.
Yeah. Okay, sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we request Nirja ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Yes. Good afternoon, all of you who have joined today. I'm Nirja Sareen. I have been a volunteer since the year 2000, and I am based in Delhi. So I thank from the SPIC MACAY family, I thank all of you who joined our orientation today, which gave a complete overview of our activities and of our objectives, and how we try to bring in a voluntary spirit in all our programs. So I hope all this information will help in creating a very vibrant heritage clubs in your respective institutions. And for any support or any guidance or any help, you're always free to contact any of the SPIC MACAY volunteers present here. We will also try to connect each of you to the state chapters where our coordinators are sitting, because ultimately you will be working with their support. So that will make your work very easy. So thank you once again. Namaste.
Thank you, Nirja ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words. Sabya, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Nirja ma'am. Thank you, Shah ma'am. So with this, we come to the end of our orientation session today. So we are really glad and happy to meet you today. And we are positive that we will be in touch in future and work with your institutions to spread our cause and this movement to all the young minds of the country. So with that, we conclude our session.
Have a nice day, all of you. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.